Video games are held to higher visual standards than ever before, especially in this generation, where everyone is expecting the next big exclusive. While exceptional fidelity in environments, effects, textures, and even water is expected, the demand for incredible facial animations persists. It was true when Mass Effect Andromeda was panned for its lackluster and borderline goofy expressions in 2017, and remains so today. Fortunately, there are more than enough titles that deliver in that regard, both good and bad. So check out our top 15 picks here.
Ain't over yet. Just hold out a little longer.
You know, that's not true. I see it on your face.
Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. There's much to dislike about Rocksteady's live service shooter, whether it's the story, the looter elements, the uninteresting world design, or the terrible boss fights. However, by some miracle, the facial animations are actually pretty good, especially in the cinematics. It sticks out like a sore thumb compared to everything else about the experience, but props to the team for it, even if it doesn't make certain moments, and you know the one, any more palatable.
Bet you didn't think it'd be me at the end, huh, Bets?
Are we done with your bad stand-up routine?
Almost. But you always gotta end on your best joke.
God of War Ragnarok. Sony Santa Monica already received extensive acclaim for its work on the 2018 reboot, but Ragnarok ups the ante even further. The one-shot cutscenes return, and the sheer scale of their action, whether it's Freya ambushing Kratos and Atreus in the beginning or Odin's subtle mannerisms and manipulation, is something to behold. Heimdall's arrogant charm is brought to life with stellar voice acting, but it wouldn't be complete without the smug aura that his expressions lend.
Take one more step, you're not gonna like how this ends.
Really? And how do you intend to stop me?
Look into my eyes. You tell me.
You are a sick man.
Mortal Kombat 1. Has Mortal Kombat gone off the rails more often than the final season of Dexter? Well, probably, but with Mortal Kombat 1, NetherRealm Studios proves that its facial animation work is nothing short of stellar. It's not surprising since the team received extensive accolades for Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat 11, but it's still nice to see, especially in the recent Chaos Reigns expansion. Alan Wake 2. Another studio that's been simply outstanding with its facial animations is Remedy Entertainment. Alan Wake 2 is perhaps their best work in that regard, as every character, from Saga Anderson and Alan Wake to good old Sam Lake himself as Alex Casey, is rendered in exquisite detail.
First things first. What's your name?
My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. I've been...
Wake? Where did you come from? You've been missing for 13 years.
Of course, the incredible motion capture cannot be understated, especially during the famous Initiation 4. Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. For a development team that doesn't quite have the budget of other AAA studios, RGG Studio has been pushing the quality of its facial animation work further and further in the Like a Dragon series. Infinite Wealth is the latest and greatest example, with Ichiban Kasuga, Kazuma Kiryu, and many more showcasing a wide range of emotions, both in cutscenes and in combat. Given the length of the story and the sheer amount of additional content, seeing this level of facial animation work is impressive. Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Insomniac's Spider-Man franchise is no stranger to controversy. See the mess that resulted from simply changing Peter Parker's face. Nevertheless, the studio has been consistent with its facial animation quality, which Marvel's Spider-Man 2 exemplified quite well. Peter's internal torment with the symbiote, Miles attempting to save him, Venom being, well, Venom, it's all executed quite well. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Of course, that's not all, as Insomniac also did some pretty good work with the facial animations in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. While it wouldn't initially seem that impressive compared to the other titles on this list, Rift Apart is some of the series' best yet, especially as it explores new emotions for Ratchet and Clank. The eyes alone are a treat to watch. Even series regulars like Captain Quark and Nefarious look better than ever. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. One of the frontrunners for Game of the Year, Square Enix's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth goes all out in terms of production values. Final Fantasy VII Remake already cemented itself as an excellent translation of the original's emotions into contemporary facial animations, but the sequel is even better, offering more fidelity, characters, and standout performances. Senua's Saga, Hellblade II. Ninja Theory's acclaimed series lives and dies not just by the quality of voice acting, but by the performance and facial capture. As such, Melina Juergens turns in another brilliant performance as Senua, depicting the sheer terror, confusion, sadness, and anger the character experiences throughout Hellblade 2 with exceptional finesse. And for all of the sequel's faults, there's no denying the developers' upgrades in the facial animation department have paid off exceptionally well, providing some of the best in gaming.
You can never forget.
You thought you got away.
No,
You thought you left it behind in hell.
Dillian, you're Dillian. You're lovely, Dillian.
But you will never be free of
His
this,
pain, his suffering.
however far you go.
Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. CD Projekt Red's facial animation work in Cyberpunk 2077 is something to behold after all of these years. You could spot NPCs just walking around with solid facial animations and expressions. However, Phantom Liberty went even further beyond. Solomon Reed, played by Idris Elba, is probably the star, but Songbird, Rosalind Myers, and Kurt Hansen are also exceptionally well animated, which makes sense given their story roles. With the expansion serving as a farewell to the title before the team moved on to the sequel, it's fitting to see it deliver its best work yet. Black Myth Wukong. For a game where most characters aren't human, Black Myth Wukong does an excellent job of humanizing all of them. The protagonist is, of course, worth noting, but the approach carries over into some exceptional facial animations for its villains, whether it's non-white, Erlong, or the downright terrifying Tiger Vanguard. It does a lot to bring them to life and make them more than just bosses that you dispose of and move on. Baldurs Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is played primarily from the overhead perspective, but its cutscenes and dialogue interactions get up close and personal with its exceptional cast. Suffice it to say that the facial animation work is excellent. Sure, your adventurer could perhaps show a somewhat ill-fitting expression or two during a conversation. It's a nitpick in a game of this size and scope, with so many beloved characters and unforgettable moments. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Star Wars Jedi Survivor didn't have the best rollout when it launched last year, with performance issues and Respawn struggling to address them immediately. However, the facial animations for its characters, especially Cal Kestis, who adopts a more serious and weathered demeanor, are simply fantastic. Even newcomer Bo Dakuna is exceptional, with his emotional range conveyed excellently. Dead Space Remake. Due to its very nature, the original Dead Space didn't give its main cast too much opportunity to showcase their facial expressions, Isaac especially, which the remake addresses quite well. Not only does Gunnar Wright look fantastic when lending his likeness to the role, but even Nicole has a larger presence, allowing her character more time to breathe. And as you'd expect, the facial animations are simply incredible, putting another feather in the game's cap of exceptional visuals. Silent Hill 2 Remake. If we've said it once, we'll say it again. Bloober Team and Konami have over-delivered with the Silent Hill 2 remake. Even in areas like facial animations, which the former is skilled with, are astonishing to behold, especially James Sunderland. The sheer range of emotions, from regret to calm, seething anger, are portrayed well and build that connection with the audience even more. And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at GamingBolt, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.